Oh, the weather outside has been frightful this holiday season. Flights were canceled, the roads were a mess, and many people had to change their plans in one way or another. And if your plans were dented by the snow, take solace in knowing that you were not driving a truck in that ice or on that ice. That's what Ice Road Truckers was all about, truckers driving in the vicious winter weather. Specifically, they drove on frozen lakes called ice roads in Manitoba, Canada. The series aired on the History Channel from 2007 to 2017 and had 11 seasons. Ice Road Truckers was beloved by many people around the world, but especially in Canada. There is no word of it getting a sequel, but it was not cancelled. Cast members describe it as being on hiatus indefinitely instead. The pandemic probably did not help the show's chances of a revival. That said, we must note that there was plenty of real-world danger on this reality TV show. Freezing temperatures, storms, road blockages, these truckers had to face it all. Driving on ice roads also meant that these trucks carrying tons of cargo to nearby communities had to cross ice that could crack at any moment. Shout out to Canada for having TV-worthy winters. But for the record, there was no big falling out with the cast despite conditions that would make most of us rage. Some sources cite the distance between truckers and the changing climate as some of the biggest reasons for the show not getting another season. Almost all of these truckers drive solo, so the drama was always between them and the great outdoors. Only one person left the show because of the show. Welcome to the largest dedicated car and truck TV show channel on YouTube, TUNANOCRUST. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do so you don't miss our next upload. It's free too. So where are these road warriors now? Let's see where these truckers have driven off to since the show's finale. Since there are a lot of drivers, we will limit our deep dives to the faces on the original website.
The cold season's here, and you got that golden opportunity to get the loads in, and if you can't get them in then you ain't getting them in at all.
Mark Kohaykewych is the brain behind the Polar Industries Limited business. Most of the truckers on the show are under his command. Although he does not do anything but test drive on the show, he managed Darrell Ward and Lisa Kelly for a while. Then, Kelly and Ward made their own business, which became a major point of the show. Kohaykewych is still listed as Polar Industries Limited's owner on LinkedIn. Ward, however, was not so lucky. On August 29, 2016, Darrell Ward died in a plane crash at 52. The adrenaline junkie had just left the Great American Trucking Show in Dallas, Texas when his plane fell from the sky. He will be missed. So, what about the cast members who are still with us? Alex Debogorski was the star of Ice Road Truckers. He was born on August 4, 1953 in Berwyn, Alberta, Canada. Along with trucking since age 19, he had jobs in a tire store and as a taxi driver. He had been driving for over 26 years before getting on the show. Like many of the cast members, Debogorski also starred in IRT spin-off Ice Road Truckers' Deadliest Roads. We'll talk a little bit about it here to save time later. IRT Deadliest Roads was less about the cold and more about the danger. This meant that the same truckers who drove on frozen lakes drove on mountain roads in places like India, Bolivia, and Peru. The show only lasted 2 seasons and ended in 2011. Debogorski was 77 when Ice Road Truckers ended. Rumor has it that he's still trucking. Most of us would retire. He also has a book, so if you want to support this awesome guy, that's one way to do it. He has 11 kids and 13 grandkids to feed. He also has interesting thoughts on Ice Road Truckers coming back. If it is, nobody has told him. And it wouldn't be the same show without him, so keep an eye on his social media. We'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Upside. Us car guys are always saving up for the next car part, right? We'd rather eat ramen noodles every day so we can save up enough to get a new set of wheels, an exhaust system, or an air intake. Well, what if there was a way to get money back from things like eating out, buying gas, or dining out to use on new car parts? Well, there is, and it's an app called Upside. It's basically cash back for just doing you. Tired of inflated prices? Well, Upside offers cash back on purchases. I've been using the app for a while now at the pump and eating out, and am saving my cash back for a new set of tires. The best part is how easy it is to use. Just claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. Then pay as usual with a credit or debit card, Follow the steps in the app and get paid. Don't wait and download the free Upside app and use code NOCRUST to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. Link in the description below. Now, let's get back to the video. Moving on, Hugh Rowland, aka the Polar Bear, appeared in seasons 1 through 8 of Ice Road Truckers. Like Debogorski, he also appeared on Deadliest Roads. However, his exit from the show was not happy. In 2014, Rowland was involved in a messy traffic accident. The car, which was driven by one of the show's producers, crashed into a tree. Rowland was injured in the accident and filed a lawsuit against the showrunners. He was fired from the network shortly after. Today, Rowland is a family man. He also runs a construction company. Despite being fired, Rowland has the highest net worth of any IRT cast member at $2 million US.
I just drive safe and careful. The tortoise, I'm not the hare. I need to be pulled out of the ditch. Screwed that one up. That sucks, dude. Snowy out, so we need to go slowy out because otherwise we're gonna be dusted out. I'm a poet.
Lisa Kelly is one of the very few ladies in the sausage fest of ice trucking. But make no mistake, she's just as hardcore as any of the guys. You need nerves of steel to drive over ice that's cracking beneath your wheels like in Season 9. She could have been a goner. Kelly persevered despite some concerns with the show. Kelly was a little perturbed about having cameras watching her every move. She took a break from the show in Season 6, but was present in Seasons 3 through 11. Her main reason for briefly leaving the show was privacy concerns. Other than that, she was a staple of Ice Road Truckers. She also appeared on Deadliest Roads. Kelly still drives the ice roads, mostly in Alaska. If you're worried about Kelly for the intense driving or any other reason, don't be. She posts on Instagram and has a modest YouTube channel. She might be one of the few female members of the cast, but she's still a tough cookie. Her words, not ours. According to Kelly, the pandemic may have kept the hiatus of Ice Road Truckers going, even if it wasn't the cause. But if it ever comes back, she's another good source on whether the rumors will be true or false. She and Debogorski keep in touch and are very good friends. The producers will not do anything without them knowing. Single mom Stephanie Custance was another important woman behind the wheel. Unfortunately, she only lasted one season. She entered the scene in Season 10, but there were only 11 seasons. She was a relatively new driver and a risky addition to the show. Fans were not pleased with adding a driver with barely a year of experience to the cast, but she adapted quickly. And we don't know what she's doing now. Her Facebook profile has not been active since 2020. She was always a dubious addition to the cast, but we'll always remember how she brought the hammer down behind the wheel. Art Burke has an interesting history. He had been on the show since Season 7 and stuck with it till the end. He was known for, shall we say, interesting language and a dark sense of humor. But after the show ended, well, things got weird. In 2020, already a strange year, Burke was accused of arson by negligence. Wrap your head around that. It's a rare charge for a reason. How and why did this happen? The case started in 2018, shortly after Ice Road Truckers had ended. Burke was trying to make a form of concentrated cannabis called shatter. Making shatter uses liquid butane, which is highly flammable. The attempt caused an explosion that not only hospitalized Burke, but also caused $60,000 worth of damage to nearby properties. This mishap cost him 12 days in the hospital and 18 months of house arrest. He describes it as losing everything he had worked for, and it's not clear how much this cost him, but we can expect to see him on TV again. Todd Dewey did not appear on the show until Season 7. He's a logger by trade. Trucking is off-season for him. Like Burke, he entered the IRT's 7th season. One of his bigger roles was mentoring Stephanie Custance. Even though trucking was not his main job, he stuck around until the end. Dewey loves trucking. There's no way that the show going off the air would stop him. But in 2019, he got in a serious accident on the road. Nobody in the other vehicle survived. Dewey was let go on all counts, but was emotionally sick that he had killed 2 people by accident. You can still see Dewey and many of the other cast members at the Great American Trucking Show in Dallas. Check your local trucking conventions to see if they will appear at a show near you. So most of these truck stars are still doing their dangerous jobs, cameras or not. Kelly and Debogorski seem to keep in touch with each other. Some of them we don't know. And finally, we express our condolences for the loss of Darrell Ward, even if it's been a while. He made the show what it was. He was not the only loss, but again, we had to limit it. If you want us to get into the other drivers, let us know in the comments below. Now that we're thinking about it, people like truckers deserve more credit than they usually get. Do you have a job that people don't appreciate? If someone made a reality TV show about your work, what points would you want it to get across? Finally, would you like us to make more videos about ice road truckers, or has the great outdoors been brutal enough for you? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified of our next upload.